Free ballin'. Oh, Alex, you know what, Alex? I'm free. I'm free ballin'. No, really, man. I'm dead serious. Call me Captain Commando, because let me tell you what happened, Alex. First of all, are you there? Are you still there?
I'm still here. I know what happened, Adam. You went running again and crapped yourself like last time.
No, that's not what happened. What actually happened is I'm right in between wash cycles, dude. And so I ran out of underwear today. Laundry is in the hizzy. Okay, so laundry is being done now. But I have 0 pairs of underwear now. So I am, wearing shorts, going free balling, and I'm feeling great. I mean, I'm feeling good. I feel like a 65-year-old man because this is episode 65. So I'm feeling good. I'm ready to rock. We got JayBratt to come on the podcast here in segment 2, so that's going to be a special treat. I get to hear your grievance, which you're going to be ticked, which is going to be awesome, so I love that. And this is the first time, Alex, this is momentous. We are live streaming the podcast.
Yeah, I think it's only fitting that the last day of May Days is actually a live stream of the podcast that started it all. You know, when they look in the Guinness Book of World Records and they see who played 31 games on PSVR in 31 days, we're talking about 31 different games, they're going to say, PlayPSVR did that. How did they do it? Oh, they had a podcast, and this is where it all began. I want to be there when they erect the monument to us, but it's so historic, we might have to wait like 200 years or so. So I want it to be a virtual monument that I can look at now, if possible.
Ooh, will I be erect in the monument, or am I just going to be hard?
You'll be half-mast.
Oh, dude, that's a good mast, because all the ladies are like, is he? Or is it just big? And then no one knows.
No one knows if it's big or if he is.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, let's get to it because we got a full show on here. Will, that guy is Will's already freaking out because it's a live show. It's a live show for you, Will. Mm-hmm. And so now I want to know your gamer juice, but before you tell me, I'm going to tell you it's Dad's old-fashioned root beer. Good stuff. I have drank some of it already. It's caffeine-free, so it's not going to keep me up tonight. It's old-fashioned root beer. It's good stuff. I'm enjoying it. It was I had one other gamer juice. I'm going to save it till next week. But, I mean, nothing super special. Just, I mean, good old-fashioned root beer with a butt ton of effing sugar.
How's it go down, Adam?
It's good. It's so sugary. It's so good. It's very good. Glad I don't know how many of these I could drink, but that's what's going to go on. And then, I mean, I'm living life, man. I'm happy. I'm enjoying myself. How about your gamer juice? What are you sucking down tonight?
I've had a heck of a night. I shelled out a ton of money to take my daughter to go see the PJ Masks live. And about 10 minutes into it, she got too scared. And so we just left. And so I just went to Burger King, grabbed the first drink I could get. So that's what's happening. Play PSVR, the podcast, sponsored by Burger King. They have delicious water, and it comes in a big cup. Even though I asked for a medium, I got this freaking supersized monster. They think to do me a favor. I'm going to have to pee in the middle of this podcast. We're doing it live, so I'm just going to have to pee into this cup when I finish drinking this water. But Burger King water, hunger is what makes you thirsty.
Okay, very nice. Well, here's the thing. So we were on schedule to do something, and you were going to talk about Quar, but then play PSVR Fry. And just so everyone knows, so we don't get demonetized, Fry is technically not part of PSVR. I just think it's so funny that he just changed his name to annoy us. He wants us to list the games that we've played this week and then rank them. So I think you should introduce Quar and what that game is about, but to appease Fry, I think that we should do his idea. So what games have you played this week, Alex?
Well, he's not talking about this week. He's talking about for May Days. I haven't played much.
May Days is 31 games. We can't do that's too many games.
I'm just going to try to look at the highlights of what I played in May Days, things that I remember fondly. I remember fondly playing Space Junkies when it actually worked. That was a really fun time. That's a really fun game. One of my favorite streams was you doing Chair in a Room, Adam. I didn't get to
Yeah.
play the game, but I got to join that stream. It was really nice. And then I think my other favorite was Doom VFR. You know, the Maydays was an experiment that nobody thought was going to work. People even shuddered. It was a thing like, just because we can, does that mean that we should type thing? And we went whole hog. We went right in it with Doom VFR. And you just threw it on the wall. Guess what, baby? It stuck, and it stuck hard. I loved it. It was great. Doom VFR. It was a great way to kick off the show. How about you, man? What did you like playing in Maydays? Did you play anything new? Anything that surprised you? Anything that was nice to go back to?
So one thing that, I mean, this honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but my highlight is when I just went full ham on Tetris Effect and had an ungodly performance in front of this crowd. And not only did I double S all of normal mode, I had multiple perfectresses. Did you see my? I know you saw all my perfectresses, and you're trying to be a dick and say you didn't see them when you definitely saw them. So that was like, I sucked at that game so hard. And I don't know what it was. It just went. It was incredible. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So I enjoyed that. And then I had Will there to support me the whole time. And then Fry was there to constantly, degrade me and belittle my accomplishments. And then you were there to back them up. So thanks a lot. I remember Trainer VR wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I also remember that Salaryman Escape was a new game that I played that you said was a very good game, and I give it a solid 5. Like, I know you said Transpose is the best puzzle game, but I remember you saying that Salaryman Escape was a contender. And if you think that is a contender, you fool, then you are dumber than the trash can that's in the corner of my room, because that game is not anywhere close. It has weird music. It's a weird concept.
That's what I love, man. That's what I love.
Do anything weird you like.
I told you, I've never hidden that fact, man. We had a whole episode last week about me talking about how much I love the weird in PSVR, man.
Freaking Stunt Kite Masters, Vertigo Home, Salaryman Escape. What's next?
I don't know, man. It's all good. It's all good in my eyes, Something odd, something off the beaten path. I don't play PSVR to just play a 3D version of the normal video games I play. I want to get something new, something weird. I want to get in there and change my life, change the way I'm looking, and that's what it did for me.
Well, I don't know. What I don't know what I can say. Okay, so first, I just got to admit, I watched you play some of Quar, and it looked like Duty. So how about you tell me, did it taste like Duty, or did it just look like Duty?
Well, I don't really want to start the review off that way, Adam. But
okay, actually, that's a very good point. Now I feel like a douche. Okay, let's just do our typical thing. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks on my part. I apologize, Quar, and I forgot who's
Funbox Media. I was just looking up who made it. Funbox Media. They're the guys.
I'm sorry. I mean, okay, what's the game about?
Okay, so Quar, obviously, it's this thing. It's like an IP and a concept that I think it's like either real, actual, physical, like Warhammer tabletop game, or it's a comic book or something like that. I wouldn't know, because the game does nothing to try to tell me what this game is about. So all I know is I start the game and it's anteaters killing other anteaters. I don't know why they're fighting. It's almost like, what if you did World War I, but you replaced all the humans with anteaters? And I don't know why it's called Quar. It's called Quar the Infernal Machines. I don't know why it's Infernal Machines, but it's like World War I if it was fought with these animals, these critters. And I have no idea what the reasoning behind it is, or the concept, or the story. It doesn't really tell me anything when I play the game. I just start, and there's these guys. I mean, even though they're anteaters, they speak in a British accent, so I really don't get the concept. But what the game is about, it's a turn-based strategy game. It's something, if you're thinking like Final Fantasy Tactics, yeah, it's in that vein, but you're not moving the characters all at one time, then going to the next team. They're moving it all at one time. It's just turn-based strategy. You move a unit, they move a unit, and you're trying to eliminate the other team.
Oh, I mean, okay. I mean, that sounds, I suppose, simple enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It looks a little confusing. Okay, so the controls, is it motion controllers? Are you using the DualShock? Where are you using?
So this is the biggest knock I have against the game, is the controls. So I can get by. I love turn-based strategy, but this game really flops on the controls. You can use DualShock, and you can use the move. So let me describe the DualShock first. DualShock, what you do, it's really clear about what the buttons do, but they never feel intuitive. You have one button that kind of like ends the turn. You have one button that does a special move. You have one button that just seems to kind of like make your eyelids blink or something like that. And then you use the analog sticks to move this barely visible cursor around on a board. And you move the cursor, just sliding around the board, and pick a unit, and you hit a button to pick the unit, and then you tell the unit where to go. It can move so many spaces away, or it can attack somebody, or it can like hit a button and do a special move like hiding or call an airstrike or something like that. But the weird thing is the game, the movement of your characters is like grid-like in fashion, but your control of where your cursor isn't grid-like. So I don't know why they even did that. If you're limited to movement on a grid, then just let me move my selection on a grid. Let me use the D-pad, and don't make me deal with this like floaty, floppy piece, like this floaty, floppy cursor that I can barely see, and it's like moving at a weird acceleration rate. It's hard to manage. It's hard to see. And then in the VR mode, I only played it in VR. You can play it in flat, but I don't want to do that. In the VR mode with the DualShock, you can hit a button and kind of pick where you're going to move your viewpoint to. And then you can rotate the analog stick to adjust where you want to be turning, where you want to be facing when you release the button. It'll teleport you kind of slowly, and you'll be in that new viewpoint. Now, the downside is, say I'm looking, I move straight ahead, but I want to look directly 90 degrees to where I'm currently looking. I need to make sure that I'm looking straight ahead at the camera when I let go, or else it's not going to look in the direction I'm asking it to look. It's going to like reset my frame of reference based on where my headset is looking. It's so confusing. It's so unintuitive, and it feels so bad. There's also a way you can press a button where you get down into like a lower view. So they're like the scale is more like, oh, these soldiers are the size of you, but it makes the game impossible because you can't see the landscape. There's no purpose to that other than if you wanted to just take a picture of the current setup. So that's how it controls with the DualShock. It's not intuitive. I do not recommend it. I really do not. If you try to play it with the DualShock, it's so confusing. The controls of the moves are a little bit better. Instead of sliding this weird cursor around, you're pointing with the move controllers at the units you want. You're pointing at the places you want them to go. That's good. The downside is it doesn't tell you what the buttons really do on the move controller. There's a couple hints here and there, but when I first started playing with the move, I would like get stuck in a menu and not know how to get out. I would get stuck in the options screen, and there would be no indication of how I'm supposed to get out. Really, the only way I got out was just jamming the trigger or jamming the move button and hoping that one of them points in the right direction or something. At one point, I even got stuck inside of a tank. I don't know how I got in. I don't know how I got out. It was extremely confusing, but if you avoid doing anything fancy, the move controllers are the way to go. You point where you want to go, and your unit goes there. Don't press any buttons. Don't try to change your viewpoint. You're just going to get off in the wrong direction. Like, if you end up in the wrong position, it's going to be very hard to like turn yourself around and point to the position that you want and also get like the proper height that you want. They should have just made the game like Dark Eclipse, where you can move the whole world around in analog. You're not moving yourself. The world is moving around for you. That would have been great. Also, I got stuck on menus a million times because you're supposed to like hit the start button to light up this chalkboard that barely lights up and then move around on the chalkboard. Everything about the user interface gets in the way of enjoying this game. I'm sorry, I'm going on about the controls way too much, but that's the thing. The controls are the issue with this game, the main issue with this game.
All right, so then what's the gameplay like? I'm assuming are you just trying to destroy the enemies? Are you trying to get to their base? Are you trying to steal a flag? Like, what's the end game?
So these kind of strategy games, they usually have a different goal in each mission, but really, I don't know if I've played a strategy game that hasn't had this kind of underlying goal in every mission, where it's really just like, just kill everybody and you're going to win. Sometimes the mission is like, just survive, but the way you survive is just kill all the enemies. Sometimes the mission is get to the flag, and the way you get to the flag is you kill all the enemies in the way, and then you walk over to the flag. So, yeah, they have a variety of missions, but really the crux of it just comes down to just don't die and kill as many enemies as possible. They might have a special guy you got to kill or something like that. But the crux is, yeah, it's like a glorified version of chess. You move a piece, they move a piece, you move a piece, they move a piece. You can't move the same piece twice in a row, so you have to move every piece once, and then it all gets reset, and then you move every piece once again, and you're taking turns like that. I don't really like playing my strategy games like that. I like moving all my pieces at once, and they move all their pieces. This game does kind of, one of the things I like in a strategy game is I can set up traps where I can counterattack. In this game, it doesn't do that. So if an enemy is in the range in my range and I attack them, they're never going to attack me back, which is frustrating because it eliminates all strategy. It's basically just like you hope you have more firepower and better luck than they do, because that's what ends up happening with most of the firefights here is like, okay, my 5 guys shot your 5 guys first. Now you have 3 guys and you're not going to take out my 5 guys because 5 always beats 3. And luckily the game starts me out with enough units. I never have to deal with this. So the gameplay loop is basically just move your units, one by one. There's a little bit of strategy involved in placement. You want to hide them behind a building so somebody can't attack them. You want to use the right units for the right job. Some guys are faster. Some guys deal more damage. Some guys have special attacks. You don't want them to die because they can deal heavy damage with artillery and stuff. But it all feels kind of random and loosey-goosey. So even though my commander is calling in airstrikes, it doesn't quite do as much damage as if I just have one guy with one gun right next to him and he'll blast out 3 guys. I can't get a grip on what the real strategy behind this is other than just kind of luck, and they just kind of tilt the odds in your favor.
Dude, get a what did you say? Get a grip?
Get a grip.
Get a grip, man. Am I going to buy this game? Am I going to wait for a sale, or am I going to avoid this?
So if you like turn-based strategy games, you will probably find something like it. Despite all of the game's glaring issues that I'm naming, I still have an itch to go back and play it because I personally really enjoy turn-based strategy. If you get used to the controls somehow against all odds, you probably won't have that much of an issue with it. The game's not incredibly long. The missions are about 15 to 30 minutes in length. Most of that is spent waiting around and trying to figure out the controls. There's about 13 missions, so it's not a whole host of gameplay here. But there's not that much in terms of turn-based strategy on the PSVR. It doesn't really flex the VR to the fullest potential, but it's kind of neat to be standing above a battlefield and aim these guys around and set up these attacks. So if you're really hurting for some turn-based strategy, you might want to wait for a sale. If you're not a turn-based strategy fan, if controls are going to get in the way of your enjoyment, or if I've turned you off with my complaints about the issues this game has, then you're probably going to want to avoid this game. I hate to say it. I mean, it's got something there. I just wish they would have finished the game before they released it. It feels unfinished, like they just didn't polish. It really needs a lot of polish. Fix the controls. Just, I don't know. If the controls are good, the game would be a lot better. And I'd say, hey, everybody could wait for a sale. It'd be kind of fun, good 4 or 5 hour experience. But with the mess up controls, if you're not a fan of turn-based strategy, it's wait for a sale or avoid forever.
All right. So before we continue to the second segment, because we are going to make this first one short, just because we know we have JayBratt coming on, and typically when we have guests, we talk a lot. I'm going to do a few shout-outs. So first one, for everyone who joined us on May Days, hey, we appreciate it. We had fun talking to you guys, all the hee-hawing around. Honestly, pretty much it became a nightly roast, and it was just who was streaming that day and who got roasted, because that's what it became. But that's fun. I get made fun of, and then Alex streams, and I can lay into him, and then I've got backup to lay into him. It's good stuff. Second shout-out here is, I don't know if you remember Francesco from back in the day, Alex, but he gave us a very lively comment that he emailed to us, and we enjoy that very much. And so we got another one, Homeboy. This time he said in 2 weeks he's going to listen to our podcast, Play PSVR, the podcast, in the middle of rural Brazil. Now that, he said there won't be electricity, there won't be running water, but our podcast will be playing loud and clear where no other podcast has ever been. And he says where people barely even know what a video game is. So I don't really understand if he's joking. I mean, I don't know how rural Brazil, what they're like, if they actually know what video games are. But regardless, here's the thing, dude. Francesco, you rock. You were awesome. We appreciate you taking this game to the ends of the earth. And, maybe I should leave the USA. And if you could have me go to one Japan. I was going to say I should just go to Japan. That's where I'm getting to. If I were to leave the USA and go to one country and be an ambassador for Play PSVR and just blare the podcast and live there, Alex, what country would you give to me?
It's going to have to be China, man. Ni hao, bitches.
Dude, I was just saying Japan. That's where the receptionist of everybody's golf is from, though, right?
Yeah.
I need. Oh man,
I see our analytics. We got some crazy listeners, man. It's great. We got somebody from Australia. We got somebody from Malaysia recently. I don't know. We're going worldwide, man. We're actually, you know what? I bet it is. I bet it's just me working through my Raspberry Pi VPN, keeping my tinfoil hat on, blocking all the advertisers. So, but I like to think that we have a global presence, and I like getting feedback from my homeboy Francesco and getting this Brazilian touch to it. Thank you so much, buddy. I like to know that people in Brazil are listening to us because I'm listening to them.
Wait. Here we go. He said in 2 weeks' time. Let me check. He sent that, I think, today, if not yesterday. So in 2 weeks, or should it be next week, we should, I don't know, in Spanish, I guess it's just hola.
Portuguese,
hola.
man. Portuguese.
Oh. Then I definitely know. Hola. Okay.
No idea.
Is that hello? I don't know. Okay. Regardless, listen, we thank the people here on Twitch who's contacted us. JayBratt says it's getting offensive, so we should probably end this here pretty soon. And then we'll continue. We got JayBratt coming up. Can't wait for it. I'm excited. Welcome back to Play PSVR, the podcast. This is segment 2, baby. It's segment 2, and we got a special one because, we've been doing our May Days, and JayBratt has come in a bunch of these May Days. Sometimes he gives us crap. Sometimes he gives us love. I'm interested to see what he's going to give us tonight. JayBratt, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing so good, man. I'm having a good time already.
All right, we haven't even really started, so this is fantastic. It's good stuff. Alex, you seem like you wanted to say something, but you haven't. So I'll let you have the floor from here on out.
I don't even know what you're wanting me to say, Adam. Anyway, you know how we start this stuff off, JayBratt. We got to know what your gamer juice is, man. What are you drinking tonight for us? What are you coming prepped with?
First thing, I got something special. So this right here is Reed's Extra Ginger Brew. So it's a ginger beer. It's non-alcoholic, but it's got tons of ginger in it, 26 grams of fresh ginger. So I would get these out when I'm showing people VR. Helps keep them from getting sick with all that ginger.
So do you get VR sickness? Does that actually help you?
I never have, but my buddy Dan, who is one of the people who actually bought my original PSVR, the version 1.
What a guy.
Drinks these, and these help him out a lot. So
okay. So wait, 24 grams of ginger. How much ginger are you supposed to have in one day?
I have no idea. This has 26 in it, so it might be a little much.
26. Okay. Yeah,
I don't
that might
think
be a lot.
ginger is like a nutrient you're supposed to consume.
Not a required amount. Yeah. My last question regarding your drink: does your urine smell like ginger, or does it feel like ginger when you urinate?
It has a nice gingery freshness on the way out, and then if other people drink it, they don't get motion sick either.
So if people are just in the bathroom with you while you're urinating, they're also going to have their motion sickness cured. Okay.
I stay in the headset, and they're just taking it right there.
If you got a catheter system like I hooked Adam up with, it's just a straight feed. You're almost like a cow with the machine on the udder. Now it's a ginger udder.
Yeah, exactly.
A judder.
A judder. A 3D judder. That's what we're talking about.
3D judder. I love that. Okay, so we talked about this gamer juice. This is fantastic. And so here's the thing. JayBratt, I don't know. You missed our first segment, obviously, because you weren't here. But Target boned us again, man. They boned me hard.
Freaking boned us.
No lube, no protection. And then they got Alex the week after. He's been waiting for about 28 days for Blood and Truth. Still didn't get it. So we can't review the game, but thankfully you have come to the rescue for us and the listeners. So here's the thing. Do you mind to help review Blood and Truth, do our job? Will you do that for us?
That's why I'm here. I'm here to do your work for you, and you take the credit.
Exactly. That's what I was.
Why I'm here.
We're going to get all the credit for it. We're going to get all the acclaim. And if anybody has any problems with your assessment, we're going to send them to you. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Good.
Love this. Okay. So the first question is very basic. A lot of us have played London Heist, but in terms of I want to know what Blood and Truth is about. Is it very similar to London Heist? I know there's a plot associated with it, How about you explain that to us?
Definitely. So Blood and Truth, it feels just like London Heist if you played it. Like you start out in the beginning, you are basically you find out you're the soldier, and you are also, I won't give away any crazy spoilers here, but you learn all this in the beginning. You find out that your family is also kind of associated with this underworld of London gangster craziness going on. It's definitely, they say it makes you feel like you're in an action movie. And not only does it make you feel like you're in a cheesy action movie because you're playing through all these crazy scenarios that would never really happen, but also it's never really super clear what your purpose is in this. Like bad things are happening and you're going to go take it out on the people who are doing it. And that's just kind of where it is. So it's an awesome game. What is it about? You're basically a London gangster, sort of taking out some revenge. And there's little subplots here and there, but it's kind of unclear. You're just having fun, blowing things up, and doing crazy stuff.
How many flats do you go to, and how many fish and chips do you consume?
You don't consume any fish and chips, surprisingly.
What?
You do consume a bunch of nasty cookies. They might be called crumpets or something. I'm not really sure.
Oh,
Biscuits.
yeah.
Biscuits. Biscuits. You consume biscuits. And you end up in maybe your own flat, but it's hilarious because you got the TV in front of you and there's a PSVR sitting next to it.
Oh,
And there's even these moments where they talk about like the gaming on it. So there's like these little meta hidden Easter eggs where they're like, "Do you remember when we put Mom in Ocean Descent and she freaked out?" Which is just a hilarious tribute because it's the same studio, that made that. But it's kind of cringy, but it's kind of fun too because you see all these references from it.
It's like you're in the middle of like shooting guys in like this like nightclub. Oh, this feels just like I'm playing London Heist.
It's like someone winks at the camera right there. It's very self-aware that it's cheesy.
Okay, well, if they do it right, that can be really funny. If they're serious about it, that's kind of annoying. But the next question on the list, and it's the most obvious question we can ask, most obvious answer, how does the game control? What's going on in this game? Is it DualShock? Is it move? Is it aim? I don't think it's any that. But how does this game control? Give me a breakdown of how we're moving around and stuff.
So DualShock or move, I did not try the DualShock because why would you if you have moves? The weird thing that a lot of people were worried about coming up on this is it's point-to-point movement. So kind of like what's that game, Bravo Team, that everybody fucking hated. It has point-to-point movement, but they did it in a really smart way. So in Bravo Team, you clicked on a point, you went into this jarring third-person perspective, you're getting shot as you're running, and you couldn't do anything with it. Where with London Heist, when you move from point to point, you're still aiming, you're still shooting, you're still fighting, and it feels much more intuitive. My only complaint about that control scheme is if you go to a point too early or something and you wanted to get something back, you can never move backwards. You can't look back at that point. You can move side to side, but it's very linear in that way. You cannot go backwards at all. And then some of the really cool things about how they use the moves. So you've got holsters on your hips for your pistols, but then you've also got shoulder holsters for anything bigger. And when I say anything, I mean you can put a humongous gun apparently on one shoulder and just keep it there. Totally realistic.
Yeah,
there.
that's how it works in real life. I mean, I was a London gangster, so I know, and that's how it works.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I am the truth in the Blood and Truth, yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got ammo on your chest. So anytime you got to reload, you're just grabbing your clips and putting them into your guns from your chest, which is usually really helpful, except if maybe there's someone next to you you're not supposed to shoot and you're trying to use the trigger to grab the ammo is kind of difficult. You're using the same thing. So you pull your gun up and then you shoot them in the head and you fail the mission.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it happened to me once. So usually it works great, but there's definitely a few flaws still. Move controllers just, we all have our qualms with those. I won't go down that rabbit hole.
Well, for what it's worth, VR Grid is chiming in. He says the DualShock is not very good. It ruins immersion. So,
okay, I figured.
I mean, I feel like this sounds like maybe you made the right choice.
Yeah.
So have you played what's that game? Killing Floor? Have you played that with the moves?
Oh,
so
yeah.
is it similar to that and like the reloading mechanics and stuff? You just hit a button in that. I remember all the time trying to grab my chest in that and having troubles, getting the right region. And then, I don't know if this is better than that or worse than that.
This is better because you're trying to grab, in that you were trying to grab your flashlight and change it and then put it back, and it was really finicky.
Yeah.
In this, the only thing in the middle of your chest is always whatever clip you need for the gun in hand. So it switches. If you have a shotgun, it's your shotgun shells. If you have a pistol, it's your clip. You're not trying to grab different clips. One thing that might have been a little different for me, I was wearing a sub pack on my chest when I was playing.
Ooh.
So it kind of pushed my chest in real life out a bit, but I found it still was helpful because the clips are always still a little in front of where your chest is going to be. So I wasn't necessarily smacking myself. Although I did stuff a PlayStation Move Ball in my mouth on accident a couple times. Maybe it was on purpose.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
It just got stuck there, and
So one of the Easter eggs they have, you grab vapes throughout the game, and then you can smoke them like in London Heist. Well, you try and do that quick when you got one, and this ball is just. It's in the mouth.
You suck balls.
You kind of enjoy it, but you wish you hadn't, and it's just the way it is.
What's it taste like?
Old rubber and dust.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
probably like big D over there.
Shut up, Alex. I know you sucked a motion ball or two. You fool. Hey, you can from here on out, Jay. You could call Alex Dickle.
Tickle.
They called him that in high school because he's got a dick like a pickle. So.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Is it because of the bumps on it? Is that why it looks like a pickle?
I don't know. I didn't know him in high school, so.
Oh my god.
It's different depending on who's looking at it, so you know.
Okay. So the main gameplay loop. That's what I want to ask now. So you kind of mentioned it's on rails. Is it like? I don't know. What is it? More action? Is it more puzzle based? Is it a diverse amount of gameplay, or like what's the typical gameplay that you're actually?
It's mostly action. So you're going from point to point. You're shooting, you're ducking, you're dodging. There is a few other things they added to it that were fun. So there'll be things you have to hack. There'll be lock picking, which is kind of a pain in the ass in every game it's ever been in. But they did okay with this one because you're kind of turning one move to get the pin, and then you're turning the lock as you get it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, there's some little. I wouldn't call them puzzles. They're too easy to be puzzles. Like you're basically flipping switches until you get it right. But you've got that. You've got the shooting. You've got things you're finding and searching. The only thing, and I even said this in one of my videos, it did start to get a little repetitive. It's like, okay, I'm going to be climbing up some ladders. I'm going to be hanging from some poles, and I'm going to be shooting guys and picking some logs today when I've done this for the last 3 days. It does start to feel a little stale a ways in there. You're still having fun, and there's still cool new scenarios that are happening, but you do start to get a little, so you're like, okay, if there's going to be one more lock in this level, I'm just going to be done. You know, it does get a little stale there. That's one of its flaws, I would say. As far as main gameplay, I actually did finish it today. I think it took me probably about 4 or 5 hours, somewhere in that range.
Okay, nice.
So that's not bad for the price. The game gives you fun experiences that make you love it and make you think, okay, I'm in an action movie. So I so far don't regret buying it. But 5 hours, there's a lot I can go back and do. I guess there is some replayability, but I still feel like at this point in VR and in PSVR's life cycle, $40 for like a 5 hour one run through, that's pretty typical, but it still feels a little harsh at this point.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I'm hoping, just hearing that, 4 or 5 hours, I'm hoping that they're going to release some DLC, just something to add like maybe an hour of gameplay to it. That would just give you a reason to come back and revisit it. Because, when they add something to a game like that, I might want to play through the whole single player again just because I get the itch. But it sounds like, you go through it once and you've kind of seen all that it has to offer. Are there branching paths or anything like that?
No, so there is like some alternate paths, but they always lead the same place in the end. But you might pick up another gun if you go a different way. There might be something you see that's a little different. The only reason I would probably go back right now is probably I only found like 2 of these little trophies that are collectibles. So, and they're both of them were from PSVR World, so I'm guessing that's kind of the theme. But I might go back and try to find those and find out if there's other unlockable guns that I missed or anything. I might go back for that. But I definitely think if you went through the campaign twice, I'd be hard pressed to go through the third time. One caveat to that I will add, though, when I played London Heist the first time, I played it on normal mode, and I didn't know that you could die. I got through it all, and then I had friends over to play it, and people were dying left to right, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that you could actually die in that game. Well, this one, it's got a normal mode, and it's got like an easy mode. I played on normal, so maybe if someone's not as used to VR, maybe shooters aren't exactly something that come easy to them, maybe they'd play it on easy and then want to go back and play it on normal. But playing it on normal, I think I died 6 times altogether, and 3 of those were from shooting family members. So apparently I'm just a sociopath.
Dude. Okay. There's more I want to talk about, but down brass tacks, is it a buy, a wait for a sale? I know it's not an avoid. So
Yes.
Is it a buy or a wait for a sale?
I would say that's a tough one still. I would say if you wanted to get it this week, if you wanted to get it at launch day and you wanted to have these experiences and you love London Heist, it's a buy. So buy it now. If you love London Heist, you're going to love it. If you're on the fence about London Heist, if you weren't super into VR worlds, you're not going to get some of the references, go ahead and wait for a sale. It's a good game. And even if it went $10 off, $29.99 would be a great deal for it. 40 is a little harsh if you're really only going to play the game once and you're not going to have other friends who are going to play it. They're going to laugh and have fun with you. I mean, if you're playing this on your own, $40 would feel tough for just a one-time run through the game.
Okay. Well, so VR Grid says it's a buy. Fry, who apparently is now PlayPSVR Fry, he says buy. And also he mentioned that there's a attack mode and a coming to section. So I don't know what that is. I don't have the game. Target FU. So freaking Target, dude. Okay, so we appreciate you doing our job for us, Jay.
Yeah,
No problem.
That's right. So Alex, how should we talk to this guy now? What should we ask him?
I don't know, man. I mean, I want to know the basics about you, man. What is your favorite PSVR game? What kind of a PSVR gamer are you?
Oh, man. So probably the game I've actually spent the most time in would probably be Farpoint, mostly because I have one buddy in Denmark, and we have played through co-op. We actually have beat that on Chaos now. My character is completely maxed out in it.
Oh, dang.
That game is just the co-op in it. If you're with a friend, you're having a good time. It is an absolute blast. And that was one thing I was thinking, if they could figure out a way to do that with Blood and Truth, like any sort of just minor co-op missions, anything where you're playing with someone, that would be an amazing experience. Mm-hmm. And just like that, Farpoint, the reason that it kept me coming back to, there was all those unlockable guns they added. They added the versus mode. These were all free DLCs that were added after the fact. And that's what kept me coming back and kept me wanting to play it again and again. So the replay value there, that's probably my top game. It's not without its flaws. I think Astrobots still might actually be a little better of a game in my opinion. But Farpoint also came out, 2 years ago. First game with the aim controller. And it's still to this day is something that I play pretty frequently.
So I just sorry to interrupt you. I just played this game with my dad. It was like I showed him a handful of VR games. Farpoint's the one that grabbed him immediately, and he sucked at it, and I just had to take over for him and finish the levels for him. And that game is so freaking good, but it gets so freaking hard at the end. Especially, I think they added like 2 levels to the challenge mode at the end. Give me some tips, man, because I was trying to play through some of that stuff, and I was getting my ass handed to me. How do I level up these guns? I want to unlock all the guns, but I'm not good enough to make it through a level and actually get the experience points. So give me some hot pointers so I can jump back on Farpoint and get to the end just like you and be just like you.
Did you put your dad in challenge mode the first time you played? Is that what you're saying?
No. We did stage select.
Okay, that would have been a terrible mistake. Challenge mode is unrelentingly hard. I will say that. Co-op works off some of the same maps, but you don't have the stupid timer in co-op.
Okay.
So if you really learn, use your cover. Oh, this is totally not challenge mode. In any other mode, co-op versus use your cover, learn how to crouch. If you don't know, obviously it's the O button, and use the precision rifles, especially if you can get to the 3rd precision rifle. It's probably my favorite gun, actually. And for a long time, I was a shotgun only guy, so that's totally crazy. But it's the one that has enough ammo in it that you can actually spam the trigger a bit rather than just having like 3 shots and you have to get perfect shots. Challenge mode, though, you have to just run. You have to accept that you're not going to kill nearly all the enemies. Only kill the ones that are going to kill you on the way through. Otherwise, the clock's going to run out and you're just going to die.
I didn't even think about that. I thought you had to kill them all in order to keep going.
No, it'll even tell you at the end when you beat a challenge level. It'll say 60 little spider, I can't remember the name, they spawned in and you killed 54 of them or something like that. You don't have to kill all of them, and frankly you can't with the time limits they put on you. I haven't beat every challenge level, but I've beat at least half of them. I would say they are unforgivingly hard.
Yeah, it's
co-op if you get with a good friend, though. It's a lot of fun because you get good at it. You kind of start to work towards each other's strengths. If one person's a great sniper, they're the sniper, you're the runner. It's definitely still probably the most fun I've had in general in VR games. Ginger beer's coming up. But yeah, don't lollygag if you're playing challenge mode.
Do you want to play with me? Because Adam's very bad at the game. And
Dude,
so
I am not bad. You suck, Alex. You suck, and you bring me down.
I would love to play once with one of you, once with the other, and then I'll tell you who actually sucks.
Oh, this is a good idea. Yeah,
that's perfect. Okay.
Part of the June Jives, baby, coming up every day in June. We're playing Farpoint.
June Jives.
I'm down.
Okay. So I want to know, so that's your favorite PSVR game, but what was the first PSVR game that you played?
Well, the very first one. So I actually am one of the people who I pre-ordered the first day you could even pre-order the PSVR. That's how excited I was for this thing.
Did you like demo it before?
No.
Oh,
no.
Man.
I had owned a Gear VR, which isn't even on the same level, but there are some things in it that do kind of, it shows you what VR can be. And that's why first day I could pre-order the PSVR, I was like, I'm doing this. I want to see what this is. And then of course, PSVR Worlds came with that original launch bundle. So that was the first thing I booted up and tried. Ocean Descent and London Heist are definitely cherished memories just because I was so fresh to it and it was so cool. But now that I have a PS4 Pro and going back and checking out PSVR Worlds, that still holds up pretty well because the graphics are so much better on there than they were on my original PS4 I had at the time. Those were my first experiences. I did do Resident Evil 7 way back in the day.
Nice.
I did not finish it yet.
What?
Man.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't think I ever get motion sick, but I did get really messed up one time after playing that, and I didn't feel nauseous. I wasn't sure if it was motion sick, but it was that fight with the dad where there's the meat hanging and you kick the meat, and I was spinning and spinning and spinning trying to kick these meat things in him to figure out how to beat this part, and I got out of it. And that's the only time I've ever gotten out of VR and just been like, I feel terrible. I didn't feel nauseous.
You couldn't beat the meat.
I couldn't beat the meat, not with the old man in the room. I don't know what my problem is.
Well, you got to beat the old man's meat. That's the way you get past
I don't know how to. You're going to have to teach me how, man. I have no experience in this area.
No, Alex is too good at it. So you don't want to.
I'm an expert, yeah. That's why Resident Evil 7 was really easy for me because of that.
Oh my god,
it's so messed up.
Speaking of, is there any news on? I mean, I'm just kind of riffing here. Is there any news from Impulse Gear about what they're doing next? Because it's been 2 years since Farpoint, right?
They sent out a tweet. I want to say just around Christmas of last year that said 2019 is going to be a great year, and it had the little Farpoint dude in the picture.
Oh,
like
man.
The little plushy vinyl guy in it, and I haven't heard a thing about it, but I would be, if they just launched a 2v2 or a 4v4 with it, that would make my whole year. I would never touch Firewall again if they did that.
Yeah, man, they'd be eating Firewall's lunch.
Yeah.
If you would take Detached and you would make it Farpoint or Farpoint-esque, great game. Adam, in the game effing sucks.
Adam, that's what Space Junkies is, man. That is exactly what Space Junkies is.
Well, then maybe I really would like Space Junkies.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to play. Have you played Space Junkies, JayBratt?
No, I put it in my cart when it was on sale for $14, and I forgot I didn't check out. But the good thing about that, I also had Vertigo Home in there for $2 and did not check out with that in my cart.
Good decision. Good decision.
You could have gotten about $150 worth of games for $16, man.
I know.
That is incredible that you missed out on that deal. No, but seriously, like, I want people to play Space Junkies. I want them to get this the acclaim they deserve. That game works so well, and it's so fun. And I had such a great time playing it. And nobody wants to, just like Farpoint. Adam can't play Farpoint with me because he sucks at it. I don't know anybody good enough to play Space Junkies with me. I got to play with randos on the internet.
Oh God, that's terrible.
He plays with randos because every time he plays with someone he actually knows, he gets his butt whooped. But I mean, that's okay. But you know, whatever, Alex, you suck. You suck. Okay, so we obviously had our big hitters. We had Everybody's Golf show up. Blood and Truth is now out. As of today, Trover Saves the Universe is out. So are there any other games that are coming up that you're looking forward to? Or we'll start with that, and then I want to transition that into, since we have these big hitters now, what should we expect for the last half of the year for PSVR?
Definitely. Well, Trover Saves the Universe, I meant to get on and buy that, but I was too busy recording everything else today and fighting with my cat, who apparently found the restart button on my computer and keeps pressing it when I'm trying to upload things.
Nice.
So I definitely want to try Trover Saves the Universe. There was a game, I should have looked it up before this, that's coming supposedly to PSVR. It like puts you back in World War II and you're a spy. And I posted something on Reddit a long time ago about it because I was like, this looks really good. I haven't heard a thing about it, but if that's coming, I really want to check that out. It looked really good in the preview. And for Everybody's Golf, you guys have been talking about that. I need to download the demo. I haven't even touched that one yet. I'm not a huge golfer, but I do want to check it out.
Dude, okay. Can I just vent? Here's a miniature airing a grievance here. I have gotten so one of the trophies, I want to platinum the effing game, but the stupid one of the trophies is to get a hole-in-one. I have gotten so close that Alex's dickle could have touched the hole, and it still won't give it to me. There is no mercy with this stupid SOB.
That's the last trophy.
It's not the last one, but the rest of them, I think, are like, I just have to play the game often enough.
Gotcha.
Like, one of them's like, play 300 holes. Well, I haven't hit
wow.
300 holes. It's going to take me as many holes as Alex's mom has to get a hole-in-one, so it's going to be a while.
I don't even get what you're trying to say there, but Adam, my mom is listening to the podcast live right now.
Yeah. Well, chatting about this.
I love you, Cindy.
It's true.
Cindy.
Is her name Cindy?
Yeah, sure. I don't know, man. I'm not going to give you that information for free, Adam. You got to know it, man. You got to know it.
Well, I call her, so whatever. Also, VR Grid says that in that last half of the year, firewall might be fixed. But now,
yeah, they're going to give us another update that doesn't fix anything but adds a bunch of other stuff to the game.
Adds a bunch of other broken stuff.
What is your feeling on Firewall?
I played it, so I bought it launch week. I thought the price was high, but I knew that was like the one time that I was going to get in there and have fun and not just have some 11-year-old kicking my ass up and down the wall. I played it launch week. I met some really cool people. I had a great time. That was before they added the squads and all the lobbies just fell apart when they did that. So, like, I wasn't waiting for games. I actually got to play with one of the developers the first night, launch night, when it came out, and he kind of explained some of the game to me, and I had a great time then, and frankly, I don't think I've touched it since. I think I got to, like, a level 10 in that week, and I haven't touched it since. Like, yeah. I saw people on Reddit complaining once like, people got the door jammers and those devices that messed up the signal jammers, whatever. People were all whining about that, and I just didn't go back to it. I had too much else going on.
There's too many games. That's the thing. There's too many games coming out for the PSVR to spend my time waiting in lobbies to play Firewall. We complain about it a lot. Yeah, I had the same feeling as you. I had a lot of fun the first week. I don't have time to do this over and over and over again waiting for it. You know, it's good. They released an update to change some of the stuff that I have problems with. I might come back to it, but it's run its course in my mind. I don't need to move on with it.
Yeah. Even if Deathmatch came out now, maybe it has. I actually haven't. I don't know, but
it hasn't.
No, I was gonna say Deathmatch was supposed to come out, and maybe that would be cool. Although I feel like you die so quick. Like it doesn't take much to die in that game. So
I think they added hit points, but nobody can tell you what it's like because the game doesn't work right now. But that was one of the last updates. Was they added hit points? So there you go.
Well, thanks, PSVR friend.
They're killed. There was one dude, I don't remember who it was, going ham on PSVR Frank. I tried to defend the guy a little bit. I mean, I don't know him or even support him or anything, but I was like, he was just going hard on PSVR Frank. And I was like, he's like a PR dude or something. He's not the one actually like developing the games or coming up with the patches or something, because he wasn't ragging on First Contact. It was only PSVR Frank. And
he's
then
the face of it now, so that's what people do.
I mean, I guess that's true. And even after I tried to somewhat defend him or tell him, dude, get mad at the game developer. No, he just brushed me aside and just started going ham on him again. It was actually pretty comical. I told Alex to take a
See, PSVR Frank needs to take a page out of Target's book and try to take it straight to the DMs, man. That's rule number one. If you're yelling at you on Twitter, you're just like, let me DM you, dude. Let me.
Dude, for all the complaints, Target must have like half of India. Just, do you want to take it to the DM?
Just hit me up in the DMs, slide in my DMs. I'll talk to you about it. Oh, man. Okay, anyways, let's ask some other questions for you, Jay. Jay, what's your most overrated game, man?
Oh man, this is gonna be tough for you guys, but hear me out. Oh, no. So I was a day one PSVR enthusiast. I played the demo for Res Infinite.
No,
and I thought this doesn't seem that great. But every single person that posted a top 10 PSVR games and every list that says top 10 PSVR games, people kept saying Res Infinite, Area X, you got to do it. And so I was like, finally, I waited, it went on sale, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a life changer. People say this is crazy trippy. I'm going to put on the sub pack. I'm going to put on my Sony Pulse headphones. I want to get my whole body in haptics here. I got a little tipsy because I wanted it to be extra trippy, and I got to Area X, and I thought, this is cool. But this didn't change my life. My soul didn't awaken in that second. And I know Alex is just dying inside. Adam's just like, dude, we're never talking to you again.
Get off my podcast.
It was good. It was not the crazy thing everybody built this up to be. And I feel like
a soulless monster.
I think did you forget to turn the music on?
Maybe that was it. Maybe I left the audio off. There's music in the game. Are you?
He had the headset on, closing his eyes, playing with his eyes closed.
I played it, and I was like, I kind of regret. I was like, I should have probably just bought this game when it first came out. And if I would have went in with no expectations, I probably would have thought, wow, this is really cool. But every list had like built this thing in my mind. I feel like it's Tetris effect now. It's why I won't even get it.
Yes.
I'm just so scared that so many people said this was amazing. This changed my life. This was the best game. It shows up in all these top lists. And I'm like, I'm going to try and play it. And I'm going to be like, dude, this is Tetris. Like, it's not going to blow me away because I've heard too many good things now.
Okay, so you're correct about Tetris. You're dead wrong about Res Infinite. But also, I want to know: do you have the Twitch account of VR Grid? Because literally everything you say, VR Grid agrees with you.
I don't do anything on Twitch. I don't watch any Twitch. I'm all about YouTube. I've seen some of VR Grid stuff, I want to say, on YouTube, but I
call him out, man. Call him out. Talk some trash.
Call him out.
Talk some trash.
Listening.
I haven't watched it enough to like. I think if it's the guy I'm thinking of who he is, I don't want to like describe him because I feel like that might be offensive if I'm wrong.
He only eats Canadian bacon. Only eats Canadian.
Does he have gray hair?
Oh, I don't know. No, okay. He has black hair, right?
Black hair. Okay, he's probably not the guy I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, well, that guy sucks. The guy you're thinking of. Oh, Adam, move along with your weirdo question so we don't run out of time here.
Okay, but here's the real question. Here's the one I've been kind of waiting to drop. It's not a weirdo question. You've listened to a few of the podcasts. You've now seen a lot of our May days. Now you've seen us face to face. So imagine you're a pretty young dude. So I want you to imagine that you're 25, 35, I don't know if or when you want to have kids. Imagine 40 years in the future. You have a daughter. And she is now on the dating scene. She's on the prowl. She's looking for someone to munch on. Who would you rather have her have a romantic relationship with, me or Alex?
Oh, these are the kind of questions that keep me up at night. So Let me break this down real quick. Here is my fear with either of you. So I'll start with Alex. I feel like if she got with Alex, I imagine I would have a hot daughter. I was pretty good looking in high school, still not bad.
You're doing all right, man. Yeah. I like your
daughter. my wife's a good looking lady. We'd have a hot daughter. But see, here's the problem. If she got with Alex has that radio voice going on and that long swishback hair. I feel like she's going to call me and be like, Alex is cheating. He's got options. He's out there flirting with these ladies, and he's just not going to treat her right. So
what can I say, man? What can I say?
So I feel like Adam in his studio little thing going on there with YouTube, he's going to treat her well. He's going to know this is the best he can ever do. And he's not gonna ruin this relationship with her because he knows this girl's hot, this girl's loyal, this girl is amazing. But she's still gonna call me upset one night because she's gonna look in his internet history and find some weird tentacle stuff that freaked her out and scared her. And so no matter what, I have her calling me crying because of you two. So I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, you gotta pick one, dude. You gotta pick one.
Adam, because I can talk her through the tentacle stuff.
Yes. Tentacles rule. You just don't want her to have the dickle.
Well, now you got me scared because I just can't imagine what a pickle dick looks like.
Too much pleasure. Too much pleasure. You're good to keep your daughter away, my friend.
It tastes like vinegar and it's got bumps all over it. That doesn't sound appealing to me.
Oh, I'm glad we're not on YouTube. We'd get demonetized.
Okay, Jay, I just want to apologize. That's the weirdest question I think Adam has asked any of us. I had nothing to do with that. Thank you for being a good sport. Even though I guess you don't have a daughter. I don't know. But I want to thank you for playing.
Dude, he's the one talking about tentacle stuff. It's not me.
You're the one trying to get with our guest's future daughters. I don't.
I'm getting desperate here, man. Also, I do want to note, I feel like we've had weirder conversations.
Probably.
Remember the one? Didn't we talk about having sex with potatoes or something like that?
Oh yeah, that was what's his name from Helix VR? Flag, yeah.
Yeah, Flag.
Like a lot of carbs.
Yeah, a lot of delicious carbs.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're winding down here. I don't want to miss this opportunity. You know, last podcast or two podcasts ago, I did not give away a free game, and Adam reamed me for it. Don't want that to happen again. It's time for a free game for you, my friend. Are you ready for this?
I am so ready.
Adam, do you want to let the man know what's at stake?
Okay. First of all, I'm calling bull crap. Homeboy JayBratt here said he already had Monkey King. I want proof. I think it's bull crap. You know we got Monkey King codes, and you don't want one, so you're saying you already have it. But whatever. So we have Light Tracer. We got Vertigo Home. We got Table of Tales. We got Mind Labyrinth. Spin the wheel or do whatever the F you do, and let's give him a game.
Spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
You better hope it's not Vertigo Home.
Spin that wheel.
I hope it's Vertigo Home.
It's Res Infinite. No, it's Table of Tales.
Oh,
Tales,
okay.
my friend.
Nice.
I think
Table.
I think we've given that away like 3 times, and people were like, well, I don't have a European account. And so we just keep going back over and over. So try to do it this time, man.
I got to make one.
Make a European account so we don't have to give out another one of our.
I don't have to pay for European PS Plus in pounds or something, do I?
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do, and we're not going to finance that. Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know about that.
If you can't make this work, we're going to give you one of our precious Monkey King codes. So
thank you. I'll give that to my buddy Dan.
I think we also have a catch and release Steam code. For some reason, with the name PlayPSVR, they gave us a Steam code.
And you didn't tell me about that one.
I forgot.
Do you have PSVR?
I do. I have a Rift S, and I have an original Rift that's kind of broken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to – can I have your original Rift?
I'll let you switch. How about that?
Okay. I will take that one then.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Also, Fry said you had the best burn ever. Apparently, he really liked the fact that apparently I'm ugly, I can't get any women, and I watch tentacle porn. He liked it.
Well, you still
burn,
got
Adam.
the daughter, so you still got the daughter, so that it balances out.
Okay, fair enough.
You walked away with the girl, my friend.
All right.
All right. We don't run out of time. Jay, how about you hit us up? What do you got to plug, man? I want you to get that bump from being on our podcast. What do you got to plug?
So I'm just playing around with it. I've started a YouTube channel. It's under the same name that I've got on here, JayBratt, JayBratt, not to be mixed with JayBratt, some dumb kid on there. Don't worry about him.
Oh, dude,
it's just for fun. It's something I've always wanted to kind of make some videos, and I want to play around with mixed reality. That's actually why I got the Rift S. I wanted to check out some of that, so I'm kind of learning as I go. So if you guys want to check me out on there, if you like what you see, subscribe. If you don't, I think I've got like 4 since I started this week. So if you do, great. If you don't, if it's not for you, don't do it if you're not actually going to hang out, watch, and talk to me. So check it out, see what you think. I did a whole series of Blood and Truth this week, which I'm learning how audio works. So it's kind of up and down, but I'm having fun with it. And hey, maybe I'll make some videos of playing Farpoint with these 2 dudes so I can tell you guys who's actually good at it.
It's going to be me. It's going to be me because I'm not obsessed with tentacle
It's gonna
porn.
be me.
Yeah.
With your daughter right by my side.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, dude, JayBratt, we appreciate you joining us, my man. This was great. I was hoping. I love that you hopped on the Mayday streams, and then we were able to bring you on here. This was fantastic. We enjoyed you on here, so we appreciate it.
Hey, I had a great time. I hope there's no hurt feelings. Alex, you'll find someone, don't worry about it. In 35 years, I have grown because you're going to find someone. I don't know who.
Thank you.
I believe in you both.
All right. Thanks so much, JayBratt. And listeners, we will see you after the break. All right, welcome back. This is segment 3 of the podcast. And for those watching on Twitch, this is actually the 3rd segment you're seeing on Twitch, too. So we're not lying to you this time about what segment we're actually covering right now. It was great to have Jay on talking to us. I love the compliments. I don't get enough of them. I need my ego massaged and fed as much as possible, and I appreciate you giving me that. I also love hearing about Adam's fetishes as much as he can tell me about them. I knew he was into buttholes. I didn't know tentacles were also his game. And I wonder, Adam, are you into tentacles and buttholes simultaneously?
Yeah.
For those listening to the audio, Adam just stuck a tentacled finger into a butthole fist that he made. He's a very inventive man. Anyways, this is segment 3. You know what that means. Turna, my friend, I hope you're listening right now because we're going to do an airing of grievance, and I don't want you to miss it. Adam, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I think we're both relatively heated, and so I honestly don't know. After this, we got some upcoming games to talk about. You'll probably talk about it, so if you want to go ahead and get your steam off now, that way you could have a cool head when you talk about the upcoming games. Or if you want to go in heated, I'll let you pick.
Let me just start off. Hashtag #Target. We're trying not to be explicit here, man. We're trying not to get demonetized on YouTube. We're trying to make that money on Twitch. We don't want iTunes to knock us in the reviews. But hashtag #Target, baby. It's a bunch of bullcrap what's happening with Target. Adam got onto him last week. I thought he was being a big old stupid baby, complaining about everybody's golf coming in like one day late. What a big he's a QUEEF is what he is. That's what I thought he was. Turns out he's not. He's actually a legit chief, man. He knows what he's talking about. I ordered Blood and Truth off Target. Game was supposed to come out this past Tuesday. I don't even know what day that is. I'm so messed up with my dates because my games don't come in at the right time. They told me May 24th that my game has shipped. May 24th. Let me look at the calendar because it's a hell of a long time ago. May 24th. It's exactly a week ago. It's on a Friday. They said it has shipped and it's going to get there so soon. And guess what? It did not get there so soon. It got there today. It got here today. This is Friday, May 31st. This game came out Tuesday, May 28th. Everybody's been playing it. Some people got it on Monday, May 27th. It's ridiculous. This game came out early for everybody except for the people who actually pre-ordered it at Target. I'm telling you, I could have not bought this game, gone to Target the day it came out, and gotten it for cheaper than what I paid to get it a pre-order, and it shipped to me freaking late. And you know what? They don't even have the dignity. They don't even have the dignity and the respect for PlayPSVR to talk to me, try to get me sliding into DMs when I call them out on Target. The assholes. Oh, I'm so worked up. They're pissing me off so much. I come at them, I tell them, hey, I can't even play Blood and Truth. We're doing Mayday, trying to show off your game, trying to show off these games. Target, I would have sponsored you on our Mayday stream had you given me Blood and Truth in time. But guess what? It's May 31st. We don't have time to play Blood and Truth now. Maydays is over, man. We're ending the stream. We're ending Maydays with a live stream of PlayPSVR, the podcast. We're not going to end it on your crappy 4-day late version of Blood and Truth. I'm going to play Blood and Truth. I'm going to love it. You're going to get no credit, Target. I'm not buying a single freaking game from you ever again. You and GameStop can swirl down the toilet that you crawled out of, you little turd sandwiches. Oh, I freaking hate you, Target. Here it is. Here's the freaking package. I come home, work my butt off all day, come home, freaking Target package. Oh, guess what? Your package came. Aren't you so excited? I'm not freaking excited. I want to play damn game. Freaking piece of crap. Target freaking a-holes. Let me look up the tracking. I looked at the tracking, how long it takes to track, what have they been doing the whole time. Let's see. You wanted to start off. They sent me the email. Oh, it's shipping now. York, Pennsylvania. Go to East Petersburg, Pennsylvania. Go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Why are you spending 3 freaking days in Pennsylvania? You know where I live, you idiots. Go to Hodgkins, Illinois. Okay, comes into Hodgkins, leaves Hodgkins, come back into Hodgkins. You freaking a-holes. You were in my city for 2 days. I don't live in a big city. You were in my city for 2 days before you landed on my freaking doorstep. Target. Get your crap together. Hashtag F-Target. You guys know. Hashtag F-Target. We declare war. Play PSVR, the podcast, declares war on Target. If you got to drop a deuce and you're somewhere and you're not near your home, you don't have home field advantage, go to Target and drop it on Target because they deserve it. They dropped a deuce on this podcast by giving us our freaking games late. We give them our precious dollars, our precious, precious dollars. We're getting demonetized left and right, and we're still spending our precious dollars at Target. I'm freaking pissed, man. It freaking sucks. Here's the thing. I don't even want to play Blood and Truth now because it's so freaking late. We had to have homeboy JayBratt come in and review the game for us. I feel like somebody else. I've already played the game. I've seen so much crap because I haven't had it. I don't even want it, man. I'm going to go return it is what I'm going to do. I'm going to return Blood and Truth. I'm going to buy it at Walmart for freaking cheaper than I paid. Oh, man, this just sucks. It sucks. You know, Adam? It sucks, and I hate it, and I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do the podcast. I don't want to pre-order anymore. Sorry.
It's a good point. Actually, you should do that. Take it back, buy it cheaper, and Will wants to know, hey, Target delivered. Aren't you happy, Alex?
Shut up, Will. I'm not happy.
So oblivious that he doesn't understand this is your airing a grievance.
I'm not happy that Target delivered, man.
Dude,
it would have been faster for me to go to the store. Just leave it at the store. Let me pick it up.
As bad as I hate to admit this, I also ordered a Wolfenstein Cyberpilot along with everybody's Golf VR. If you had to put, let's just do a simple probability. What is the chance that I get that game on time?
There's 0% chance you get the game, Adam, and there's like a 10% chance that you get the game at all. You're not getting it on time for sure. And there's a high probability the game's just not even going to show up. They're just going to take your money and run because that's what Target is, a bunch of a-holes stealing our cash.
They'll probably send me the wrong game.
They'll
it's
probably
be like, I don't know, Wolfenstein 3D for the freaking Commodore
Amiga,
or Amiga or wherever the F it came from.
It's going to be Paw Patrol. They're going to send you Paw Patrol.
Dude, I will platinum that, and it's going to count.
Yeah, it will.
Okay. Are you done going on Target? I think your grievance is definitely – I think it's very legit. I was angry last week, and I think it's hilarious it happened to you too.
They told me like a week early that it shipped. Get ready. It doesn't take that long. That's
the thing that would aggravate me is that they shipped it, and it still was 3 days late. And they shipped it a week before. That's bad. That's bad business.
UPS can lick my dickle.
That's what I'm talking about. You know who else could suck and lick a dickle? Freaking Sony. Oh, my gosh. So, in the past weeks, they have come out with stuff about the PS5. And they've been talking about all of that big, fancy, schmoochy freaking crap. We had a whole not a whole segment. We had a nice little chunk about all of the new technology that the PS5 had, how incredible it's going to be, and the ray tracing, and how fast, and there's no load screens. The graphics are better. I'm getting psyched, man. I was like, let's go. It could have cost $800. I would have bought it day one. I wouldn't care. I was ready to go. I want my VR to get to the next level. I was ready for it. And then you know what happened? We got a report this week, and I haven't talked to you about this, Alex, so I don't know what you think either. There was a report that they published, and they said, you know what? There's not going to be a PSVR 2 released with the PS5. And when I saw that, I tore my loins. My clothes were ripped off. I almost punched a child because I am so angry because I'm already saving money for that bundle. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be buying a PS5 and I'm going to be buying a PSVR 2. That's going to be at least $1,000. I started saving up. And here's the thing. Here's the big nut kicker, a nut sucker kicker, tugger. I have my freaking PSVR headset is so worn out. The lenses are scratched. There's freaking cords everywhere. The rubber on the inside of the band has come off. It's fallen apart. It's not even that tight on my head anymore. It has seen better days. It has been used. It has been abused. It's seen so many little star sessions that it's make your head spin. And so, but you know what? I was like, hold on, little buddy. You need to last like one more year. You can do it. And then to find out that they're not going to have a PSVR 2 headset released with the PS5 is the most cockamamie, stupid, bullcrap thing that I've ever heard in my life. And you want to know why? They had the audacity to tell whoever, I forgot who was interviewing them, they said that they didn't want to come out with a PSVR 2 headset on launch day because they didn't want it to seem like a cash grab. Like, oh, we have an upgraded system and now you need to buy things for it. That's the whole point of having the system, moron. A better system to have better technology, better peripherals, and better VR. So, you know what? You just took mouth and food out of your daughter's and son's mouth, because I am not buying the PS5 now. I'm not buying jack titties until I get a PSVR 2 headset. And so now, Alex, here's where I need you. What the F do I do? So we're 1 year away from the PS5. And then they don't know when PSVR 2 headsets coming out. So conservatively, say, a year and a half before we probably get a PS5 and a PSVR 2. So do I buy a PSVR headset 1 version 2? Do I just ride it out and keep this one as long as humanly possible until it literally dies? I don't know what to do. They screwed me over. I just think it's so stupid. Why would you not release? You're designing this headset. You already have Oculus now going cord free, and people are making advances. And now you were doing so well. You're falling behind. And who knows? About time they release that second headset, maybe there'll be a whole F and a haptic suit. And I'll be able to feel to the top as the air is flowing through my head and hair, and my freaking nuts are so big now because I'm mad. It's bull. How stupid is that? You know what? I bet Target works for Sony. I bet they're brothers.
That Target works for Sony.
I bet Target works for Sony. It's stupid.
PlayPSVR, Target, and Sony, yeah.
Seriously, like, why would they not release? I understand that, okay, there are probably very few people going to drop $1,000 immediately on a PS5 and a PSVR 2 headset. Like, in general, there's probably relatively few people. But
there's two things about this. One is a good thing, one's a bad thing. The good thing is, as Jay's saying in the chat right now, that this means that PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with our current VR headset, which is, they told us that. We know that. I don't think that means that we're going to be getting PS5 PSVR games right out of the gate. My best hope is that it's going to be like boost mode for current PSVR games. That, like, kind of like how some games are pro enhanced. Maybe if there's like a PS5 enhanced, shorter load time, something like that. The downside is if they're not making a PSVR 2, if that's not getting released soon, that means we're probably not getting new controllers anytime soon. We're not getting better tracking anytime soon, unless, like I said, pie in the sky, we have some kind of better technology in order to, the hardware is able to do better computations and calculations to figure out how the tracking should work. I don't think that's going to happen. It's just, I'm with you. I don't like riding the line and saying, like, okay, now we have this last generation tech and we're going to try to marry it to this next generation tech, and we're supposed to be happy about that. I don't want to wait until 2 years into the PSVR or PS5's life to see PSVR 2. My only real hope here is that maybe they're separating PlayStation virtual reality from the PlayStation console cycle, and we might start seeing something kind of like the Oculus Quest, where Sony is going to release their own VR headset, and it's not dependent on the technology of the console. But the patents we're seeing don't really seem like it's going in that direction. Maybe they're waiting for 5G to really take off, and we can see how that communication is working. I don't know. Sony has a lot of money, and I like to imagine the PSVR has been a big enough success for them that they feel like they need to start getting this thing pushed out there. 10 million units for something as hindered and behind the times now in technology as the PSVR, we admit it is. They're still selling like gangbusters for something like that. I just wish they would push it, man. Just make a VR team and just push that bad boy, man. We want more. We want to pay $1,000 to buy a PS5 and a PSVR 2 headset. We want to do that. We want to do that for you, Sony.
Dude, I'm livid. Okay, what do I do, Alex? Do I get a second version of the PSVR 1 headset?
So I think that you might want to do that. I think you might want to eventually look out for a sale. They drop down to $249. You can get 2 games that you don't have, because we know you're not going to buy these games separately. You're going to get a new set of Move controllers, which have a little bit better battery life. I don't really think they track that much better, but it's a little updated a little ways, so maybe they're a bit more stable in how they work. And I'll tell you, the new headset the quality of life enhancements that you get with the longer cord and the different button placement and the built-in headphones, even though I railed on them a little bit ago, it's still nice when I use them. And, we do run a PSVR podcast. We got to try to stay up to date, man. It's a lot of money, $250 to buy something that you already have. It's a lot to ask for. But like you said, yours is wearing out, and you're not going to get something in the next, 2 or 3 years, unfortunately. So I think you just got to take the plunge when you get the chance. Sometimes we see these things for under $2, and you can sell the old camera, sell the old Move controllers, maybe make a little bit of that money back.
If there is a bundle that has Astrobot and Blood and Truth, I would do that.
I mean, you can get Astrobot for so cheap nowadays, man. They got Blood and Truth and Trover, which is basically Astrobot.
It's $30, dude. Astrobot. How cheap? That's not cheap.
It sells for 20 sometimes, man. You could probably get a physical copy of it for 10.
Gosh, you're
probably
a fool.
That's
not true.
I am a fool. Oh, Adam, are you done with your grievance, man? My advice is buy something, and you never do.
Effing bullcrap. JayBratt said it was $19.99 on the last sale.
Damn straight. I'm not a liar. I want to give a shout out to Fry. He had a grievance. Did we announce his grievance yet?
We haven't. We haven't. He deserves it.
Play PSVR Fry. Thanks for trying to take our name. His grievance was that we kicked him out of the Play PSVR club. It's a very elite club, elite status. You haven't even been on the podcast, my friend. We respect the imitation that you're trying to do. We respect the work you're trying to put into our podcast for us. You are our biggest hater that we had right off the bat, and now you've turned into one of our greatest allies. We don't want to rebuff the effort that you've put into our podcast, but I'm sorry. You cannot be Play PSVR Fry. You are out of the team, Fry. And
unless if you join the podcast, you can be part of the team.
Yeah. I think he's afraid to. And I understand. There's a tentacle man going after his butthole if he does join.
He may have a big old dickle.
He might have one of those too. All right.
I don't know. A tentacle dickle. Who knows? Okay, there's a game, 11-11, that's come out. I'm going to be honest. I don't know jack crap out of Alex. Apparently you bought it. So,
yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Tell me about it.
So the TV channel Sci-Fi put forth this, I guess it's an experience, but it's really a game. People tell me it's like Invisible Hours, so I bought it because I love Invisible Hours. Right now, it's like $12. Why didn't they just release the game for $11? This is a missed opportunity right there, but it's on sale for $12.99. It's $19.99 normally, and I'll just read the description here real quick. It's put out by Digital Domain Interactive, LLC. You follow 6 main characters as they count down the final 11 minutes and 11 seconds before all life is extinguished on the planet of Kairos Linnea. Their stories unfold simultaneously, and you can follow them in 3 ways: story mode, explore mode, or goddess mode, where you shrink the entire world and you can watch the action play out in miniature. Watch them all, then repeat from different perspectives to unravel the interconnected stories of 11-11. It basically sounds exactly like Invisible Hours, but with like a sci-fi bent to it. I'm interested in that. I hope it's as good as Invisible Hours, but Invisible Hours' magic was from the writing that took place in it. So I'll play this game. If I have the time this week, I'll play it, and I'll try to do a quick review so you guys know whether or not to waste your money. I think a lot of you guys already played it, so I might just be preaching to the choir here. But there's no other new games coming out. We got Trover last week. We got Five Nights at Freddy's last week. We got Blood and Truth today because Target sucks ass. And so we don't have much to announce. So we're going to move on to the sales. How about that, Adam?
Dude, I'm ready to tell these people what to effing buy in this sale because now that guy's Will is trying to be part of Play PSVR because he joined the podcast. We've got Play PSVR Will. We got Play Will PSVR. We got Will Play PSVR. We got Will Play with My Dickle PSVR. We got all types of people trying to jump all up on here and will be part of the Play PSVR team.
JPSVR is who we got now. All right. Right off the bat with the sales, Adam, we got Corix for $1.99. You buying or you selling?
Yeah, buy that. I was really ashamed of myself that I wasn't able to join your Corix match. I do want to play multiplayer with people. So if you guys are down, email us, send us a PSN message or something because we would gladly play multiplayer. I enjoy that, you got Will a little bit, Will got you a little bit. It was a good match.
It was more than a little bit. If you guys didn't see it on that May Day, I annihilated Will handily. He obviously was taking it easy on me. And then the last thing, a little bit of hubris, and I rocked his world with my Megabot tank. Just go back and watch it. It's the story, one of the greatest stories ever told. Dirt Rally Plus PlayStation VR bundle, Adam. Are you finally going to buy it for $9.99?
Which game?
Dirt Rally VR, man.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm so sick of you and JD Max talking about this game and saying I need to buy it, I'm about ready to buy it just to shut you up.
Yeah, that's what I want you to do. ATV Drift and Tricks Definitive Edition, $4.99.
That one I will not buy.
Moto Racer 4 Deluxe
No.
Edition, $11.99.
No.
Moto Racer 4, $7.99.
No.
Loading Human, $7.99.
No.
Lethal VR,
No.
$4.49. Eagle Flight, $5.99.
No.
Star Trek Bridge Crew, $11.99.
Have you played it?
I have it. If you get it, then we can play it together. Nobody wants to play with me. I gave it to my dad, and he said, I don't want to play with you.
It's hilarious. It just doesn't seem like my type of game, and I don't like Star Trek. I think it's stupid, just like Star Wars. So I'm not about it. I don't know. I'm probably not buying this.
Well, I think you're stupid, Adam. Eagle Flight and Werewolves Within bundle,
No.
$11.99. Static, $5.99.
Yes, please, yes.
Werewolves Within, $5.99.
No.
Trackmania Turbo, $11.99.
No.
Rabbit Hole, $1.99. Darknet, $5.99.
No, I would say no. If you've lived this long without it, you probably don't need it.
Invisible Hours, $11.99.
I'm going to say no. I know you're going to say yes.
Apocalypse Martin VR Rider, $1.99.
Yes, no.
No, I'm thinking of Room Kaboom, but that's Apocalypse Rider, $1.99. Okay, no.
That's still no.
Blasters of the Universe, $5.99.
Yes.
Mortal Blitz, $7.99.
It's still too expensive.
Prison Hoss Boss VR, $7.99.
This one kind of tickles me, but I still feel like I want $5. This game's a little unproven. I don't know enough about it to pull.
We did this entire list last week. I'm just going to keep going, but let's go fast. Viking Days, $1.99.
No.
Transference, $9.99.
No.
Code 51 Mech Arena, $7.99.
No.
Infinite Mini Golf, $5.99.
No.
One Piece Grand Cruise, $4.99.
No.
Res Infinite, $14.99.
Please, yeah.
Buy it for
Screw you, JayBratt. You don't know what you're talking about.
Smashbox Arena, $4.99.
No.
Theseus Feces, $4.99.
I love Theseus, but not Theseus. No.
Unearthing Mars, $8.99.
No.
The Walker, $6.99.
No.
Unearthing Mars 2, $13.99.
No.
18 Floors, $10.49.
Please, no.
Virtual Reality for $14.99.
And I'm going to pull. Yes, you need to buy that game. That game is, I finished it. Alex, you need to buy this game. It's thus far, it's been the most pleasant surprise I've had in 2019 for the PSVR.
All right, Paper Dolls, $13.59.
No.
And that is it for the sales, my friend.
There it is. All right. Well, here's the thing. That I literally felt was the exact same. If you had to buy one game out of all those sales, what was it going to be?
VVR, baby. Virtual reality. I need to do it.
I'm glad to hear that, and you do need to do it. You will love it. It's only a shame it doesn't have a platinum because I had my shoulders squared. I had my pelvic thrust in. I was gonna platinum that till my eyes crossed, and then doesn't have one. So it's a shame. All right. Well, we want to thank you for listening to the podcast. We want to thank you for watching the podcast. This was great to have live streaming for the podcast. We're here on Twitch. I don't know if we're going to continue doing it. It was kind of cool. Maybe keep doing it periodically. I don't know what we'll do. It was great fun. We thank you for listening. We thank you for watching. Catch us on. We got Reddit. We got Twitch. We got Twitter. We got YouTube. We got PlayPSVR.com that has all of our podcasts. And we also have contact at PlayPSVR.com. We want to hear from you. We want to get those shout-outs like Francesco. And here's the thing. I want to know what desolate areas that you are sharing our podcast to. I want to know where we are on Earth. And I just want to know, do you hate us? Do you think I like tentacle porn? If you have a daughter and she needs a romantic relationship, you got me and Alex at your disposal. Please share. Share your daughters and share your podcasts. Remember, guys, always play PSVR, and when all else fails, baby, free ballin'.
Yeah.